The Game Show has announced the 1st May 2026 the contents about the new setbox for the 11th edition of Warhammer 40k Armageddon. So now let's go to see about this main article that is related about the various focuses that are considered here, so that I leave you the link in the description, so that with this article on the Warhammer community you can find all the focuses that are related. Then we go to every focus to analyze what has been released and if it's worth or not in some way this new setbox. So let's start to see about this one. Then we can see that there is the video about the full unboxing, okay, so that you can have the video that has been presented with all the things that are being talked. And the image, it's really characteristic because it's the two factions that are inside, the Blood Angels and the Orcs. Remember that about the Orcs and about the Blood Angels are technically vanilla ways, so that you can paint as you want, so it's not with symbols specific of a certain Orcs type or a Blood Angels, so that you can paint as you want. Still, it's the main theme. It's related about what we've seen in the part about being the second edition as setbox, because it's the two main factions that were there. But this, it's related about Armageddon. Remember about this, because it will be one of the main theme related. So you can see that there will be the part about seeing better about the Space Marines themselves. So we can see all the models that has been brought up. And sincerely, we talk about, okay. Then there is the part obviously about the Orcs, and here are all new models. It's really quite amazing one. I quite appreciate it. I can anticipate you this. Then there is the part to talk about the Kurus cards and other things that are inserted. And I had to say about this also quite a lot. And then we can see the part about Operation Imperator and the lore. Here, it's technically what we can call a sort of Begin book, okay? That is similar to what we've seen about Leviathan, that the book that it was done separately, but we see better because this, it's a good way and a bad way at the same time, but we analyze better later. So, let's start. So let's see about the contents about this Armageddon setbox and see if it's worth or not. Okay, here we had the video about the unboxing that it's really quite intriguing to watch, so not bad. They had the part about the setbox itself. About the box, we have yet seen because it has been announced previously, so we have seen about this one. Technically, it's something that it's recalling as idea the second edition one, because it was really about Blood Angels with Orcs. Obviously, it was really about something completely different. Still, okay, not bad as a recalling. But here we can see something new, that it's about the models that we'll go to see too. So, Space Marine, Blood Angels against the Orcs. Remember that they're vanilla anyway. And here we can see the contents. So we have 23 brand new push fit Space Marines. A way to say that they made new models for models that were yet present. Okay, but we'll see about. Then we have 38 new push fit Orcs. Okay, these are completely new models too, so not a problem. Then we have the Covenantry size core rule booklet. This make me keep calm, keep calm. My mantra is keep calm, because I'm buying a limited edition to have a soft cover cool book. Really? Really? And it should be only about the rules, not about the background to as general one. So really, this should be for only for the really not the ones that want to start, but the ones that want to start to play immediately and are veterans, because otherwise there is no reason to have such things. And if you think about the last booklet, soft book that we have seen about starting with in a setbox, it was in the 4th edition. It's some years that there is no such thing, and anyway it was more complete in some way. So okay, but we talk about this later. Then we had here the Armageddon Operation Imperator rulebook. This we'll talk about later better, but I give you a notice. This will be only with this limited edition. It's background, it's after the return of Yarick, but it's only here. So if you miss this, you can't have it. Okay. They had the chapter approved 26-27 mission deck and the Dominatus narrative campaign deck. Yes, decks, cards, okay? You have cards to play. It's not something new. We have seen that in Leviathan, for example. But remember what we have seen in Leviathan, okay? There was the core rulebook, with inside also the part about the Crusade that it was then released, not here. Then we had the Armageddon datasheet cards. We see how much they last, because usually we have seen the 9th and the 10th edition that the datasheet cards were obsolete yet before they were released. And then the Armageddon transfer sheet. Obviously there has to be, because there are the models, so okay. So the problem is how much it would be worth as money about this box. If you see the part about the video that it's about the unboxing, they talk about having a bit more than a combat pattern for each of these. So okay, so a combat pattern is 120 euros. You add a bit more maybe because there is some euros more, and you think about having them discounted. You calculate 150 euros for each faction. Okay, so 300 euros for both the faction. Okay, I'm going really down as prices, okay? Then we can see that we have the core rulebook, but it's the smaller version. So I don't want to apply the core rulebook price, normal one. So maybe 30 euros. Okay, I'm still thinking that it's too much. Then we have the part about the Armageddon Operation Imperator. Here, technically, it's a 40 euros book, okay, even discounted. And then also here, what we can add for the cards, there should be 15 euros each, but sincerely, I'm not quite interested. So think about the main part, okay, that are the Minotaurs, the core rulebook, and the part about the Imperator. Technically, it should be 360, 70 euros. Okay. You can think that all the worth of the box is 400 euros, about. Okay. Still, it's worth or not? It's a problem, because we see about the Minotaurs. So if you are going to play the Space Marine or the Orcs, or better, if you are going to play with a friend and you split the things, it's worth maybe. If you are not going to play with one of these faction, maybe you have to wait for the core book, because it's better. Other than you are interested also in the chapter 2, 26, 27 mission deck and the Dominatus narrative deck, okay. But the real problem, okay, it's the one that it's the Operation Imperator, because that one is about the background, and it will be only here. So the thing is, technically, it's worth all the price of this, if you're interested about, or not, because I hope that you will reckon such information that give, but if it's only here, okay, it's only also the way to have. Or they stop to produce the starter packs suddenly, so they keep this one longer, or you can't have this after the waste of the first release. Okay, I hope that if they miss the part about the order and so on, they give a second, a third wave like they done for the Leviathan. That sincerely I appreciate it, because it was a way to avoid the scalpers. Otherwise, worth or not, because technically this box should be around 200 euros, about 225 euros as for the box of the Old World for Camry. So discounted, we can see that we have a range of 150 to 180 euros, moreover like going to 180. It will be quite expensive, so you have to think about, because for example for the Old World, I made a decision not to buy, okay, because I was interested only about the Dragon and the core rulebook, so it was not worth about. I maybe should apply also about this one, but here the problem is the Imperator, because I'm interested about, and luckily there will be a lot of Minotaur that I'm going to play with, so okay, you have to think about such things. So let's continue for now. Here we can see the Minotaurs that are inside for the Space Marine. So we have the Captain, the Librarian, Chaplain with Jump X, the Ancient, the 10 Intercessors, the 3 Eradicator with Heavy Bolters, 5 Vanguard Veterans. These are going to make me crazy, but we'll talk about this later. And the Land Speeder. Not an Impulsor, alien speeder. Okay. Then we can see about the orcs. We have the Vorboss, the Big Boss, the Banner Knob, the Pen Boy, the Wet Boys. So it's really quite similar to what we've seen in some transposition about the Space Marines. The 20 Boys, 10 Gretchins, the War Truck, the Big Mac Drakarik. Okay, then we have, as we've seen, the Operation Imperator, the Chorus booklet, the 2 box of cards, okay, and the datasheet cards. So let's go to see a bit better anticipation about we see better anyway about all the models. Okay, they had the captain with the relic shield, and essentially this one, if they remember you about a certain Huron Blackheart new one about the rock. Okay, think about. Then the Librarian, and technically it's the same rock rotated. Wow, what a fantasy. Then we had the Chaplain with Jump Pack. Sincerely, this it's not okay. We've seen yet announced this one, so every time that I see, I say why, because it's not bad, but at the same time, really. So it's really like making the basic minimum one to have something. A problematic one. Okay, I understand that should be a vanilla, but not so vanilla. And moreover, about the basic, it's something that I'll go to change for sure, because it's awful, such basic. Then we had the Ancient, that technically should be not bad, but it's a lieutenant with a standard. Maybe I'm too used to have something peculiar, like for the Blood Angels with the Sanguinary Guard that had the special standard, the older ones, or the Grey Knight. Sincerely, the only thing that I say about such mod it's the standard, because the mod itself, it recalled me some lieutenant. Really, it's that one. Okay. Then we had the Intercessors. It's good. Okay, so here we talk about, because the problem it's not the models, but the background about the models, but we talk a bit later. Then we have the Vanguard Veterans, and here they make me crazy every time I see them, because this you call veterans, really, without other than the shoulder pad that has the icon about being veteran, doesn't have anything else to be called like this. Where are the scores? Where are the signs? Where are the personalization? Because the veterans are used to personalize the armor. Here, where is the personalization? The bit of tissue on covering the lower parts. They made me get crazy about. The Eradicator Squad with Borders, nothing to say. I like about these ones and I need them. I love the Gravis, so okay. I had the speeder. About this, I'm quite curious because I want to compare with the older ones, because I never bought these new ones, because sincerely I found them okay, but I have all the older ones, so I don't need the new one. I'm quite curious to see about the size, the comparison, and so on. At least we can personalize in a lot of different ways. Then we can see about the Oaks. We had the Boss that sincerely I appreciate. It's a bit different from the usual, so not bad. In some way, it's really quite fascinating. The Big Boss. Okay, I quite like about the basing and so on. It's really characteristic in my opinion, so I quite appreciate. The Banner Knob. Okay. Maybe it's not the first thing that I say about the orcs, but it's characteristic in its own way, so okay, nice. In some way, it's quite appreciable. The Pen Boy, sincerely, I loved this model. When I seen this, I thought, wow, this I would have liked to have, even if I don't play the orcs themselves. They were boys, not something new, because we've seen in some cinematic that there was some scene where it was symbol, and there were also some article related about it, and it's really quite intriguing. And here are some rocks used in a good way, so that they give you an environment. This is not a sort of, okay, I'm posing here because I want to look cool, but it's I'm cool because I'm cool. Okay. Then had the boys. Okay, nothing to say about. The Gretchings, we have seen some anticipation about this because GW made some days related only about these models. Then had the war track, and here, okay, it's a sort of a TV of the Space Marine, but in more intriguing way. So we have a bike with a rocket launcher on. Okay, not bad. Then we had the Big Mac Dakaric, and here technically it's like seeing a Sentinel of the Orcs. Okay, not bad. It has its own. It's cute in some way. It's really quite appreciable. So then we had the part about the book. Here we had the Operation Imperator, and okay, it's really quite something that I appreciate. As I said, it's following the things that are in the background of the Return of Yarick, so it's really quite appreciable. It's really quite nice, and I'm quite intriguing about. Then we had the part about the contents of the rules, so the core rules book, and then really make me go crazy. Also, cause seeing about the size, it's not a small version about, but it's really a booklet. Really, this thing I don't understand completely. Okay, and so we had the cards, various ones. So now let's start to see about better than the focuses. So now let's start with the focus about the Space Marines. Okay, we can start with the captain with the relic shield. Here it's something that we've seen before, but we can see some more details. Okay, about here, sincerely, I can say that it's a blade guard. Okay, it's really not something completely new. What it's crazy, it's about the part about the helmet, because the head it's not bad. The head without any, but sincerely, I always hated to have my models going without the helmet. And about the helmet, we have the two ones. Okay, one that it's the premise version, that someone said that it's awful, that it's better the older one, but I want to remember you that the premise version, it's recall the one from the Orzerzy. Okay, and about the helmet that we see, sincerely made me crazy because they renewed all the armors other than the Terminator ones, because they were not suited, they were not fitting the Space Marines Primaris. Now you say me that you can use old helmets, that you removed those things. Really? Really? It's something that made me really go crazy. Okay. About the librarian, sincerely, okay, it's something that it's standard way as options. So okay, maybe this time for sure I go for the version with the helmet, because there is no way that I put the head. Okay, then I had the chaplain, and sincerely, never like. I don't like. It's not bad because if you see, it's really quite nice. Then because it has nice details, it has the decoration and so on, but at the same time, it doesn't give any vibe. Maybe it's the base, but it's really a meh, meh, simply the meh. And I've had the Vanguard veterans. Really, these ones make me go crazy. Tell me where these are veterans. Okay, there is only the part about the shoulder pad. Other than the shoulder pad, there is nothing else that say that these are veterans, because they are really quite polished. No, better the polished, naked. They are naked. There is nothing inside these models. I don't appreciate at all. Then we had the ancient. Okay, it's a normal model. Okay, also here there's this one that it's with the helmet, that it's the older version, and I think that it's stupid. Then we had the intercessor's code, and about the intercessor's code, the problem it's again not only about the helmet but other pieces, because they say that they have problems about having the pieces restored and so on, so they take it from the older armors and renew them. But the problem is that it's from the background itself, because they said that it was not possible to do such a thing. They had to do everything new, because it was not possible to recycle the older armors. And now you tell me that you can do such a thing? Really? In 200 years, you have done more than Cole has done for 10,000 years? It's this thing I don't like. I repeat, I like the models. I like everything about them. I don't like the concept that they done, this retcon that strangely at the same time, okay, but because we are now able to use, because it's not anymore a problem, but we give some name and we done. I don't like such a thing. The models are amazing. I quite like. They are quite similar to the previous one. Okay, they are really quite fitting, but at the same time, not so great in my opinion. The Eradicator that are amazing. I love such models, so it's not a problem in my opinion. So I'm quite perfectly happy about these ones. I love the Gravis. Then Speeder, that sincerely I'm quite curious to have this to compare to the other one, and I quite like the idea that this technically should be a multi-kit, so I'm quite curious to see how I can manage test them eventually, so not a problem in my opinion. It's quite intriguing. Okay, so here we can see some machine that could be to personalize, because you can see that you can personalize this as you want. Okay, so they should be about the bird angels, but are vanilla ones, so you can personalize as you want. And now they focus about the orcs. So we can start with the boss. That sincerely I find it really quite interesting. It would be really quite nice to create some diorama of it. I have quite ideas about, so not bad at all. I quite appreciate. I had the big boss. Also, this one has quite a lot of intriguing ways, and I'm really quite intrigued about converting this in a way that it could be maybe a orc musician to associate with the orc boss, the rock boss. So it's quite intriguing in my opinion, but not bad at all. We had the Banner Bob. Okay, sincerely, this one it's the one that it's fantastic. I don't know why, but I imagine it riding a vehicle. Really, with this banner riding a vehicle, I think that it will be quite amazing. Okay, nice. Some way it's quite intriguing. Then we had the Pen Boys that sincerely I'm in love for this mod. It's really quite fantastic. I love everything about this one. From the orc to the Gretchen that it's following him. It's amazing one. The Boy that sincerely it's fantastic. This will be quite amazing to have a diorama with the librarian to make really a fight with psychic powers. Not bad at all. I quite appreciate. Then we had the boys, and sincerely here it's the model that I appreciate more because we have quite a lot of variety, and I'm quite curious to compare this with the older one from the Guest Sata and even the ones from the second edition, so that we can see everything. And I quite like also that there are two big boss here that are personalizable because we have two different ones, so not bad at all in my opinion. It's quite nice. So it would be funny to have them. Then had the Gretchen. Okay, here I really want to compare these ones to the one from the second edition because I'm quite curious to see how much they changed and they remain the same at the same time. It's really quite fantastic. Had the War Track. Here it's a one that sincerely I quite appreciate. As much I hate the ATV of the Space Marines, I love such one because it's really orcish. The definition that I say it's orcish. Quite beautiful. Then had the Big Mac Dakarig. Sincerely, okay, not bad at all, but it's not something that I say, oh my god, it's really okay. It's a sentinel reinforced with a big cannon on it, like a orc should do. So, okay, perfect in its own way, some way. And here we can see that we can also here personalize in the clan that we want without any problem. So, not bad in my opinion, but what do you think about? And then we had the part about the Rus. Here we can see about the Rus. Every time I see this booklet, I go crazy because, okay, technically it's not something new to have a book written only about the Rus because we've seen the 7th edition, but that one had 3 different books and they were hardcover. The last that we see in softcover, it was the 4th edition. So you could say, but we are against the softcover. In some way, yes, because this is a limited edition. I expect that the limited edition is something special, a different cover, special things, or so on. That is something special. If you think about, okay, the normal introduction set box that are sold have a booklet available. There's been tons of examples like this. but those ones are smaller because they are comfortable to bring around. This one is bigger, and in some way make me think, okay, but so you'll change also the way that you publish the codices, because I want to remind you that we don't see any softcover books codex since the 5th edition. So this change also what we see, but I expect also to be reduced in price because it's not having a hardcover, it's not having something premium. So I decrease the expectation about the price of such things, and I hope that I not have to have the core rules that are in paper book and the others that are in hard book, because otherwise no, it's not possible to see like this, because otherwise I go crazy. It's okay. Sincerely, I don't appreciate such decision. Completely don't appreciate. Then we see about the chapter-proof mission deck. Okay, so the chapter-proof we know that now are released like this. Sincerely, if you're interested about such things, I'm thinking about suggesting you to wait for the chapter-approved book, okay, and buy it because you have both the rules and the part about the missions themselves, so maybe it will be better. Anyway, okay, we've seen this thing in the Leviathan, so understandable in some way. The Dominatus campaign deck, sincerely, this I don't like at all because it's a campaign, okay? I expect myself to have a book written about the campaign, not something that are cards, because I want to consult them, I want to have the background related, not have to have the cards. Okay, this I can go crazy about, but understandable. Okay, and I had the Armageddon datasheet cards. This it will be a problem that you will see, because how much they will last, because I remember the 8th edition, the 9th edition, the 10th edition with rules changed even before the releasing about the Dutch cards themselves. So I hope that this time you will make a bit better work about these ones, because sincerely they will be comfortable to bring around only the Dutch cards that the trend is about instead of complete codices and so on. But if they change completely, they are worthless. So we'll see about this sincerely. And the Armageddon transfer sheet, okay, it's a mix of together having the Space Marine and the Urs one. Sincerely, okay, nice. Do you need them? Good. Don't you need them? Good anyway, because sincerely, I don't like to use the transfer sheet themselves, so okay. But sincerely, I don't think that it's this plus that you have to celebrate. And I've had the Armageddon, the Operation Imperator book. Okay, about this one, sincerely, I suggest you to have it because it's amazing about the images and about the background. So about everything that it's inside this book, that it's in hardcover. So it's really quite nice. It's a premium version if you want, but the problem is that it will be only inside this limited edition. It will be not published then. And I think that it's stupid because we have seen in the Leviathan that has been published anyway the part about the Crusade, that it was inside the book, that contained also the rules. It was also the part that it was published separately, but it was included. Okay, here we have a book that is separate, but it will be not reprinted. And really, you have something that it's essential to understand the developing of the background, and it's not available other than this limited edition release. Hope that there will be tons of box available so that everyone will be able to buy it, because this is the continuation of the Return of Yarick that has been the part of the campaign for the end of the 10th edition. So missing this means that if someone start later, because maybe didn't know that it was the new edition, or start later because know about Warhammer 40k later, will not be able to find this part of the background. And I find it stupid, really. You want to be sure to sell about this limited edition, but Warhammer 40k never had the problem about selling of the Setbox. And really, it's something that I hope that GU will make that there will be more releasing, even if the first wave is completely wiped out, about this Setbox, so that everyone will be able to have it, because we've seen what happened with the 9th and moreover about the 10th edition. So to avoid the scalpers, you made more releasing about such the limited edition version, because people wanted it and it was not possible to have. So to avoid any scalper, it's been done like this. So I hope that it will be following the same. Otherwise, it will be problematic, because I myself will be really going quite upset if for some reason I'm not able to have it, because I'll try to have, but I'm not certain 100% that I'm able to really be able to buy it. So I'm quite curious to know what it will be. So maybe you declare now that there will be not a publishing about this, and then later there will be, but there will be problematic, because you announced that one thing was limited, it was only in that way, and then you made it that it's available one, so that you force someone to buy something that could not have bought, because could have bought the separate product that it was interested. Not a good thing. Okay, so I'm quite curious about how you will develop about it, because sincerely this it's problematic, and I think that it would be really to think about. Anyway, if you're interested, think to buy from day one. When you can pre-order it, buy it the limited. If you are not sure about, be ready not to have it, because you're not assured to be able, better, you are sure not to have, but there is a far possibilities that eventually you rethink about such thing and publish again. Okay, because it will be really problematic. For example, I love the part about Armageddon. Being losing this part will be really quite heavy. Okay, very heavily it, because for example I haven't bought for now the part about Crusade Armageddon, because I was completely disillusioned, okay, not to use other words, about how it was done. But I pre-ordered the part about the Return of Yarick, so that I was able to have the background. So I'm really quite curious to see how about it going to develop and so on, because I want to have all the publication related, have all the manus that has been related about the Armageddon, from the Codex Armageddon of third edition to the other things. Have also the part about the Apocalyptic, have everything that it's related. So I'm really quite curious to see how it will be developed, but not everyone is like me, so it will be to see. Anyway, we see what it's going to be, but be prepared. So, what to say about such unboxing for the Setbox for the 11th edition Armageddon? Sincerely, I'm a bit mixed as opinion, because on one side about the Space Marines, I'm not satisfied at all, because okay, there are the chatters, but about the new models are not technically new models, and sincerely, I don't like the concept that the retcon about okay, I need the pieces from the previous Space Marine armors that were not compatible, and I made them compatible to be able to have some repair parts. Okay, I can understand, but at the same time, it's something that contradicts what you said about those armors. Okay, then we can see about the orcs that sincerely I appreciated. I know some people that were not quite satisfied about the orc boys, because they said, okay, but we have yet them, they could have done some other pieces. I can understand, because I said what I think about the Space Marine part, but at the same time, all the models are new, and they can see it's new models, so it's not bad at all. About the Chorus cards and something else, okay, in my opinion, you understood that I'm not satisfied at all. I'm quite curious to see, because what they've been going to change, it's how they're going to treat if the Chorus are really complete. We not see pages and pages, tens of pages, literally, of correction. Maybe some parts that are missed because they forgotten about or so on. So if they have done a good work about the release of such book, I can understand even if it's in paperback and it's not a limited version. Okay, otherwise something more to say about. And instead about the Operation Imperator, sincerely the problem is that it's limited, and I don't understand why. Sincerely, this it's a part that I still not understanding why doing such stupid thing. But I hope that I be one of the ones that will be able to have this Setbox, because I want to buy anyway, even if you understood what I said, that I am quite against the part about the Rus, the part about the Minotaurs for the Space Marines. I'm not satisfied at all for the main part that I should be interested about. Still, I want to buy it. Okay. At the same time, if I miss this, I will be quite grumbling about, because I wanted to have it, because I wanted to have the rules to study them, eventually start to play, because I have not appreciated the 9th edition. I hated the 10th. This one will be quite similar to the 10th edition with some modification, and I want to test the modification, because sincerely I want to play Warhammer 40k, and the 10th edition sincerely made me so crazy about it that I decided not to try again, or better, not to play more about this, because it was stupid. At the end, the treatment of the facts and so on, it was problematic in my opinion. So I hope that you will change the way that you treat about the rules. But I'm curious about your thoughts. What do you think about? Are you excited about the Space Marine? Are you excited about the Orcs? Are you excited about the theme of Armageddon in general? Or you don't care at all, and anyway you buy only the chorus or the part about the general book when it's going to be released, and for the other things you can't care at all? Or simply you want the Operation Imperator? Tell me, because I'm quite curious about. Anyway, from deynonmod it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again to the next time.